Have you been looking for a game that can scare and confuse you at the same time? A game full of tough enemies and minimal amounts of protection against them? Then it sounds like you want to check out Alan Wake 2. I guess, why would you be here otherwise, right? If that's the case, then sit back and allow me to give you an overview of what to expect before giving this game my own personal rating and placing it on a shelf behind me.
It can't be a coincidence that another body turns up just as we arrive in town.
Set 13 years after the happenings of the first game, Alan Wake 2 begins with mysterious murders happening in Bright Falls. Enter Saga Anderson, an FBI agent who excels at solving the toughest cases. But shortly into this one, Saga is immediately met with paranormal monsters and experiences, quickly turning into the most bizarre case she has ever taken on.
It's for us. The text is about us.
Forest can be a dangerous place.
Not a bad place to get murdered.
Oh,
Getting back to
this
nature
is
thing.
quite a graphic one
Damn.
right out the gate. The opening scene involves a naked man running around the forest, and the game is full of strong language and copious amounts of blood. With a well-earned mature rating, this game is best played when the kiddos aren't around. And you probably don't need any distractions while trying to figure out what's going on.
I'm at Cauldron Lake. Where are you?
You will be playing this game from two different perspectives. That of Saga, the FBI agent in Bright Falls, trying to solve the case, and Alan Wake himself, caught up in the dark place, trying to figure out how to leave. Shortly into the game, you will get the option to swap between the two via a special bucket, following their stories in whatever order you want.
The Mind Place. My version of the Mind Palace technique.
Saga has a special ability allowing her to enter her own mind and sift through any information she may have found, and upgrade her guns. Inside her mind place, she will organize case files and interrogate important characters to her case. While interrogating the people she's profiling, they will flicker around behind her and answer questions, allowing her to see through lies and get the facts she needs.
Why?
The fence was built to hide what's there.
To close out a case, Saga will need to organize all the clues found in their proper place. As the game goes on, you will discover more cases and they will be organized in a drawer with the connected clues tucked inside. When looking at a case, the questions will be pinned up on a wall in front of you, requiring you to pin the clues you found next to the appropriate question. Usually obvious where the clues go, but I found a couple times where it seemed to fit anywhere, so I would pin the clue everywhere until it stuck where it belonged.
Doesn't make sense.
You will find a lot of cases as you play the game, but not all of them are story related. There are a few collectibles to find, like special caches full of loot or nursery rhyme puzzles to figure out. Thankfully, every single one you find becomes a clue for that case and you can pin it on the wall. An amazing way to keep track of what you've already discovered.
Mysterious rhymes. No weirder than anything else going on, I guess.
This place felt familiar. A ghost of a memory surfaced. About writing.
While Saga has her mind place, Alan gets a writer's room. Very similar, but not as complicated. In there, he can keep track of the current story he's writing and upgrade a lot of different things like how effective his weapons are or how well he can heal, but only after he finds words of power hidden throughout the dark place. Every now and then, you'll find painted yellow arrows. Follow those, and bam! You got a word of power.
Light would reveal it. A phrase repeated over and over. The new scene I had found was important for the story.
While in the dark place, Alan will find different roadblocks keeping him from moving forward. These areas are usually a scene he can rewrite after inspiration hits him. While in a scene, he can enter the writer's room and rewrite the scene with different ideas. causing the entire area to shift. Sometimes it will open the way forward or reveal some secrets. I played the game on normal and still found a lot of enemies to be tough to take out. Before you can damage an enemy, you first have to supercharge your flashlight to burn away the darkness surrounding them. Then you can start shooting. If an enemy gets close, you can dodge their attack or try and push them away before shooting some more. Healing took some time, so it was difficult to keep health up while fighting multiple enemies. But if it was really bad, running was always an option.
Do you know where?
Hush! Artie's in the middle of a show.
If you haven't had a chance to play Quantum Break or Control,
Okay, then.
I would recommend you check those games out. Those games are in the same world as Alan Wake, and this multiverse Remedy Entertainment has created will add some fun, confusing questions for you to think about as you try and connect the various characters and uniqueness of the world. You don't have to play those to understand this game, but it will help alleviate some of the weirdness.
Are you trapped in the dark place too?
You remember Ahti, the janitor?
I can't count how many times this game had me speechless with the twists and turns and shifts it would make, visually and verbally. There was a lot of weirdness to take in while pushing my way forward. At the start, the jump scares and freaky storytelling were exciting and fun, but somewhere around the middle, it started to feel overdone. The story was phenomenal, but the fear and confusion were a one-trick pony, so to speak. The game would usually catch me off guard at the start of playing, startlingly, but the subsequent jump scares weren't as effective. I found it a little jarring when the game would jump from real actors and scenes back into the game, but still really cool to meld that sort of media in with a game. The biggest graphical issues I had was when it was getting really spooky, the characters' surroundings would get blurry and almost meld together, making it difficult to see. That was probably the intention, but I didn't care for it. There was a short period where I wasn't enjoying myself, just kind of going with the flow until the game moved forward. I would try every possible solution multiple times, making the game longer than it should have been. There were small puzzles and hidden treasures to sniff out, but the rewards rarely felt worth the effort. I ended up skipping a lot. And there were areas where I would be overwhelmed by enemies, forced to run by everything and get more lost or miss something important. But when I finally finished the game, it made the whole experience worthwhile. If you can power through some of the low points, it's definitely worth getting to the end. There was a New Game Plus option after I beat it, and from what I understand, if you get through that, there is a little more added to the story. So if you get all the way through and want more, there is a pull to do so. I beat the game in 20 hours, skipping a few of the optional things, and after knowing what's coming up, it shouldn't take near as long. I don't really want to go through everything again. There's not quite enough for me to get back into it. What were your thoughts on Alan Wake 2? Have you played it yet? Let me know in the comments below, and if you like what you see, subscribe and like for more reviews in the future. And now, it's time to place the game on a shelf. Visuals, coming out at a 4. An excellent story, deserving a 5. Gameplay had its ups and downs, I'm coming out at a 3. Replayability, adding a little more to an already great story, I'm giving it a 3. I wouldn't say I had a whole lot of fun. The story was the biggest thing pulling me through. I'm handing out a 2. Giving Alan Wake 2 an average score of 3.4. Placing it up there on the top shelf. I was skeptical of all the praise this game was getting at the Game Awards. Seeing as how it was released right before all the voting, being so fresh in everyone's mind, but I see now it's a good game, worthy of its praise. If you're into psychological weirdness, jump scares, and an amazing story that can twist your brain into knots, you'd be into this game. If this is your thing, make sure you check out other scarier shooter games I've reviewed. Links right over there on that side. Might be a hidden gem you want to check out.